You're listening to the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox podcast, the podcast that keeps your practice sharp and your clients happy. I'm your host, immigration lawyer John Kasravi, and every week we're bringing you insights, tips, and real-world conversations with top immigration attorneys and industry leaders. Whether you're here to grow your practice, stay on top of the latest trends, or get inspired, you're in the right place. Ready? Let's go. Hello, fellow Toolboxers. Welcome to episode number 442 of the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox. We're doing a regular top 10 series. As it's getting usual, hopefully I won't say usual. I'm actually recording on Tuesday and it gets out later, but I'm going to recap what happened. 10 talking points for last week of important things I think you should be aware of, along with my commentary as usual. So thanks for listening. It's always seemed to be a popular episode, thankfully, and so happy to keep it going. And it keeps me consistent. I just have to show up one place and get it done. So before we start, I do want to remind everybody that we're going to have a live session. It's a premium course going over how to do consular processing. It's going to be around 2 hours, may go over. We'll have additional times recordings to be available. But if you're trying to get into the consular processing game, you need to learn it. You should learn it, expand your practice, or you're already doing it. You want to have brainstorming, extra expertise there, hearing my side of it and social things I know, and have follow-ups and office hours that come with it. Please check it out. A link will be in the description below on how to schedule, get it fast and get it soon, and we can take it from there. And there's more to it, but just reach out first. And it's Black Friday is coming. I was thinking about doing a Black Friday sale, but when this comes up within a few days afterwards, if you sign up, we'll see what we can do, give some specials and take it from there. Also, I want to thank our sponsor for this podcast and who's sponsoring the magazine as well. You know them as E-Immigration by Sarah Nate. They've been doing a great job this year having webinars, helping immigration lawyers keep calm and do better at what they do best. And this December 4th, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, they have a webinar called Keys to Building Resilience in Immigration Law for 2026. Raquel Gomez, CEO of Staff, that's a powerful woman. She's going to be a part of it. Trinity Burton, another powerful woman, head of marketing at Immigration, and Anana Paris as well, vice president of client success at Staffy, are going to be there talking about things, taking your questions, take advantage of these resources while they're there. They really can make a difference in taking your practice to the next level. Having said all that, none of the information right here is intended as individual legal guidance, but you all know that already. Let's get the show started. One note is we need more likes and positive comments on if you're listening to this on Apple iTunes, but also on who's that competitor, the name one, Spotify. Yeah, we try to go up on Spotify. So leave some reviews or however way is possible to get more Spotify attention. But let's get that in there. Having said, let's start. So the first thing I want to mention is the success that Churla and the Immigrant Defenders Law Center had. There was a post I found on LinkedIn by Adam Murray, CEO of Fighting to End Homelessness, says once again the court is ordering the federal government to stop this time the rest of this lawsuit. They said this summer, two organizations, Churla and Immigrant Defenders Law Center, told this court that federal law enforcement was keeping individuals picked up in immigration raids in the basement of a federal building in downtown Los Angeles and keeping them from talking to lawyers who could help them navigate a really nasty process. They're saying they're not getting their constitutional rights, so they're forcing them, hey, let the lawyers talk with their clients in this one case. So good news there. All the links in the show notes for this kind of stuff, so you can check it out. But that's a disaster when the government starts doing that. I want to share that good news first. And second news, a lot of it's about federal litigation this week, and that's going to be the name of the game. There's administration. The second post, excellent news. The SIJS, Special Immigrant Juvenile Status Backlog Coalition, this morning had some success. The 2022 SIJS Deferred Action Policy is back in effect. And quote, the government must conduct deferred action and employment authorization adjudications pursuant to a 2020 policy alert. So that's something that's really important for those that do SIJS. And hopefully it goes, there's U visas and VAWA and stuff where there's potential where the deferred action aspect of it is taken away. I'm glad to see if you'll have that. Shout out to Rebecca Schultz of NIPNLG for great lawyering success on that. So that's something to share because a lot of you have SIJ cases. Number 3, habeas corpus petitions surged after DHS issued memo changing bond eligibility. And as I'm recording this, there's word coming out where there's like a class action about this EWI bond hearing prevention. So that's a thing. But this case that came out is going to be an important one because of this issue. People are winning when they're suing. Even when someone is entered without inspection and they're getting mandatory detention, no bond, people are winning it. A lot of federal judges don't like it, and so that's something you got to do. This habeas situation is what's going on with immigration. That's the booming field, and I think it's this week or next week. I have this chart I found. It's probably this week of just the shot up of amount of habeas cases coming. And you got to know how to argue them. I was at the California chapters conference, and I was speaking with Bashir, what's Bashir's last name? Bashir Al something, but Al Ghazi, but Al Alam, I think. And he was talking about he started doing these cases, habeas cases, and the government says okay in one sense, and then does another thing to hold you over. And he was like, "Oh, when you get a decision from the judge, you got to let him know, like, Judge, I want this, this, and this, because the government might, okay, I'll do this, but behind the scenes, they'll do some other thing to hurt your case. I'll, force him to do one, two, three, and four." And he was going through those with me, and then it was a coincidence after he left talking with him, another lawyer came to me. It was a podcast listener, and she was telling me that she's going. As she was talking, she got a decision for a judge who granted the habeas, and she was really excited. I'm like, did the judge give you this, this, and this? And she's like, no, what's that? It's my first case. I'm like, weird coincidence. God put this together, but go talk to Bashir right there because he just told me the same thing, and he had to argue these extra things for the judge to make sure he got him. So I connected him. I could see a smile on her face. She was like, okay, I'm getting all this good info. So unfortunately, I don't have it here, but that's the person to ask. He's a good guy. He'll help you out too. Bashir, let me look on LinkedIn. What his last name is. He's in San Diego, and he does a lot of lawsuits. And so once you put Bashir, not that many Bashirs, immigration lawyers. Ghazi Alam, I'm saying it in Persian accent, but Ghazialam. Bashir Ghazi Alam. Bashir G and San Diego, that should come about. Really good. A lot of good lawsuit attorneys in San Diego. I mean, Kevin Gregg's there, and what's his name? John, Arts, not, I can't remember his full name, so I'll skip, but a lot of people, great litigators over there. Number four, Trump administration sues California for ban on mass immigrant agents. As you know, this despicable practice of sending mass agents to pick people up is still continuing. California, this election cycle, passed a law against it, and Trump suing to stop it. We'll see what happens. There's arguments to say, listen, like, these people aren't state. At the end of the day, they're officers, and if their face gets out, people are going to dox them, this and that. But at the end of the day, we can't have law enforcement picking up people en masse. This is what they do in Iran and Russia and China and stuff like that. This isn't like America. So just, I don't know how you could be an American, and if your life's a threat, to be comfortable with being a police officer. Now, it's one thing if you're, it's a special thing where you're, I don't know, hunting out a big drug dealer that's like, a top person that they'll kill your family, that kind of thing. But if you're just ICE, you can't do that. I don't know how you feel comfortable with yourself, sleep at night, you're wearing a mask in America. That's not who we are. So we'll see. This is America that we're getting, and hopefully that California does a little pushback on that one. Tip number five: lawsuits filed on behalf of immigrants fined up to $1.8 million for remaining in the country. So these people who overstayed a voluntary withdrawal, or what is it, voluntary, when they could just go to leave instead of doing immigration court, they stay. There's like a daily fine of up to $998. There's people in here for 10 years after that. They get like $1 million fines. And so finally lawsuits are coming on that, on these ruinous civil fines that they say. And we'll see what happens. Here it says it's been imposed on more than 21,500 people who the lawyers said were trying to comply with immigration law. So we'll see. Saying it's grossly disproportionate. If you have a client like that, these lawsuits are happening, probably do a class action. So get in on that. Know that things are moving forward. Before we move to tip number six, I'll remind everybody about our private community page where we could have discussions, share information, have free CLEs, and a lot more job listings and the like. It's on a website called circle.so, sort of like Facebook, but it's private. I pay for it. So I have control. You don't have to go through advertising that they do and see a bunch of nonsense if you want to talk immigration that you have to do on Facebook. If you want to join, you have to be a U.S. lawyer, barred. Go to our website, immigrationlawyerstoolbox.com. Click on the community tab. There'll be a place for your name and bar info so you can check that out. And join, and you'll get our newsletter too. We have a lot of information on how to be a better immigration attorney there. You have like a 70% open rate. That's like unheard of. If you're into newsletters and stuff, you know about them, or you do marketing your firm, 70% open rate means like I'm doing something right. The people aren't seeing this as spam. So definitely check that out. Try to just get good information once a month. All right, tip number six. Trump says he's ending temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota. That's specific. I'm not sure to do that, but they did change. They did stop it from Myanmar yesterday, though. That one went away. But I'm not sure if you can specify it just for Somalis. They're accusing these Somalis of doing a lot of fraud in Minnesota. Apparently, there's tons of Somalis in Minnesota. Minnesota is like a really, international place. So many people go there from different countries. Number seven, DHS secretary seeking deportation judges, not necessarily immigration judges. That's all you need to know. So this is the kind of a weird situation. I mean, annoying, offensive situation. So instead of calling immigration judges, the OIR judges, they're doing these ads. I'm sure you've seen it where they call them, "Hey, become a deportation judge, $200,000. 200,000. People are going to do it, 200,000. So, but who knows? What they're going to pick it. They say the standard just has to be a lawyer essentially to go do it. we'll see how that comes out. But the mindset of it, just say, hey, be a deportation judge is a peculiar situation. Tip number 8: Border Patrol is monitoring U.S. drivers and detaining those with suspicious travel behavior. So they're putting cameras and tracking everywhere under the guise of, okay, if potentially someone's under suspicion of being out of status, to follow where they're going, be able to trap him, all that kind of stuff. But it's a disaster for everyone else. To monitor one person, they got to monitor everyone else in the country, spend billions and eventually trillions of dollars on this, have this whole network. We're laying the groundwork for a complete police state. I think that immigration issue is, I think, not a big deal for Washington, D.C. and the deep state, if you will. I think it's always been an excuse to be able to fund creating the police state under the guise of, fear of immigration, because it gets half the population riled up. So that's what we're seeing right now. A very terrible disaster. but the empire, as it shrivels up, this is what it does. Number 9, travelers are now reportedly being detained at domestic airports, even when they entered legally and have proof of pending immigration cases. So, we used to say if you have a case pending, feel free to travel locally, just don't go internationally. But people are reporting, several lawyers that reported on this, that they've had clients who were detained at the airport because they have all sorts of tracking stuff now, even if you're leaving or boarding, all this kind of stuff. So, if you're out of status, stay put. And I got to send reminders to my clients, something like that. If you're out of status, stay put. Then at the same time, you can't really say that because of potential, like you're guiding people not to, avoid immigration laws. Now that's going to be a Supreme Court case that's going to happen eventually. I'm not guiding one specifically, but just realistically, it's kind of like if I was out of status, if I had an adjustment case pending and I know I'm going to get a green card 100%, I just sit at home at this point. How crazy this stuff. And then tip number 10, we have a bunch of other stuff I could add, but I want to keep going this series about my law firm management, where I started this 7-star system, about how we like to think about our practice, who we are, and which direction we're going. I talked about the intro, about what this idea was earlier in 2 episodes ago. Last episode, we talked about star number 1 for speed. But I want to talk about the second one, which is about a really important part to me, which is being a great lawyer, which is having knowledge and the quality of work that you do. As you see here, I come every week and I'm talking about this stuff to keep track of this. Either means I have to constantly be studying this stuff, to even talk about this, all the interviews. It means I'm constantly working on the education, the continued education, to get the quality of my knowledge in the immigration practice better and better. The connections I have, which I can ask other people for stuff or send people to other stuff, it's on another level because I do the show. And that's just part of it. It shows like my knowledge and ability to do it, and the quality that we work on, which is taking that information and making sure we're trying to be up to date as possible in the application preparation, in what guidance we give to clients on do stuff. That all comes together. So knowledge and quality could kind of be a separate star. We put it at one because they go hand in hand, the quality of work that comes out from the knowledge. So something important that we have team members constantly studying, constantly talk about this stuff, sharing this knowledge, accumulating this knowledge, and making sure we input that knowledge within steps, not just law stuff, but also business stuff. As you've seen in my recent podcast, we go a lot about our systems, our procedures, our software, technology, to how to make this quality good. And to do that, quality of the process, there'll be a business side. I got to study business, have knowledge of that too. What's going on in these different systems? So that's what we do to try to keep up and try to be one of the best, if not, this is one of the best immigration firms we can. But that's why I recommend you guys doing as well, to help focus on either with your associate, your paralegal, your founding attorney. Everyone could do that to be the best of who they can be, and have these kind of high standards and have it be seen and felt by your clients, and they can see it. And also in your fellow team members, if you're a firm and you're doing continuous education, have high quality work, you really stand out. And it might be a person next to you who's not really trying as hard, but they see that, they could get an impression of like, wow, this is really good. I want to do the same thing. I want to be great like that too. So it really spreads around. And so many people who watch the show, they get inspired. For example, I remember, I don't want to say names, but I've had colleagues who contact me and say, we were doing cases. We see how much you talk about, study the Code of Federal Regulations, study the INA, go to that. And we start studying that, and our practice got so much better because we know the details. We know how to challenge the government. We know what we can do, what we can't do. And it makes us more sophisticated as immigration attorneys. And it allows us to be more successful, and the quality of our work goes up. So it's what I really like to try to do myself. And it's hard. This stuff changes every day. You're tired. You have a million things to do. You got to keep studying. I mean, we're out of law school. We still got to study every day. That's annoying, but that's business. All right, everybody. So thanks so much for listening. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi, founder of the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox. Please join our community if you're a lawyer. Come to our live show, our consular processing show, link below for his premium course, how to do consular processing. Get in while you can. It's a great program. I love teaching it. I taught it many years now, and so it's the next iteration of it. God bless, be safe. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. If you like this episode, follow us on Instagram. Our handle is Immigration Lawyers Toolbox, where we post the latest statistics, tips, and more. and stay tuned for more from the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox podcast.